one of the areas that is a concern in real time is orthopedics as a specialty is really being targeted by CMS.
Right.
They are removing more and more procedures from the inpatient only list, which then means you're not going to get a reimbursement. You can't do it in an inpatient location anymore. You've got to be in an outpatient location. And so now a big focus of Penn is looking at an ambulatory surgery platform and like, where do we want to be? And do we want to have a partner? Do we want to try and do it on our own? These are like some of the things that we're contemplating so that we can continue to move in the right direction. I'll say when they're going to make these regulatory changes like this, they've been saying fee for service is going away for more years than I can count, right? And we still get paid on a fee for service basis. And so some of it, you don't want to overreact to the commentary, but the fact that they did make such significant changes just with 2026 CMS physician fee schedule, we're realizing that maybe we needed to act more quickly than what we did. But as you can imagine, when you're able to benefit from the hospital rates, hospital outpatient, it's hard to walk away from that money, right? While it's still being reimbursed that way. And so as a finance leader, I can't even, make the argument of like, I know we're going to lose money on this side, but, we're going to make it up here. Because the other piece that has to come into play is around that managed care negotiation strategy. And so you've got to have the right strategy in place when you're approaching the payers if you're going to move into this ambulatory surgery area, because you got to make sure your rates make sense. So we have rates in our existing contracts. It's just not been the focal point of where we spend time in the negotiation, right? And so now it's, okay, we've got to shift that focus to really making sure that those facility rates make sense. Then maybe you take a little bit less, right, on the hospital outpatient side to balance it. And so that is one thing I think Penn has been good about, is just being able to go to the payer market, squeeze out everything we can, and then we, through funds flow, make sure that the investment that's needed in the different areas gets to where it needs to be, if that makes sense. So if the game's been more on the hospital side, fine, great, we'll go and get as great of a rate as we can. And then on the back end, we'll just make sure that our funds flow methodology says, okay, we're going to make sure that the physician side of the organization is getting the investment that it needs from those dollars.